Alrighty, folks, welcome. My name is Mr. Matthew Larson. A whole bunch of videos coming right here on America as a colony. So the early years of the foundation of the United States of America for U.S. history. This is intended to be an overview, basic background information that you will need to know to be successful. Full information you can find linked on the website, which you have access to or is down in the description below. Anything that's discussed in the video, you can find full citations right through there. Also, you can find the primary sources for different documents and stuff, so you can read them. Again, this is really just an overview to give you the basic background knowledge that you're going to need to be successful in American history. Now, first thing we want to talk about is the colonization of North America, looking right here at the different objectives for this individual video. First and foremost, you got to understand the motives for European colonization in North America. So why in the world are the British, the Spanish, the French, the Dutch, why are they coming over to North America in the first place? And second, how is there a connection between the idea of religion and that desire for colonization? These two things really do overlap. It's important to understand that as we're moving forward. First and foremost, the context. So what's going on at this time? We are kind of towards the tail end of the Protestant Reformation, moving into the era known as the Enlightenment. Protestant Reformation, again, Protestant means protest, Reformation, reform, protest, reform against the Roman Catholic Church in Europe. Spain is one of the major powers that we need to talk about at this time. The Spanish Armada, for example. Spain is just huge. It's incredibly powerful. And it is a Roman Catholic country. Again, you've heard probably about the Spanish Inquisition, where there was some pretty bad things happening to those who were not Roman Catholic in good standing in Spain. But they are a Roman Catholic monarchy. Now, when we're talking about the United States, we likely know the United States was settled by the British. There's not Spanish, and there's going to be some conflict here. So why is Spain even really that important when we're talking about the foundations of the early United States colony? Well, England is Protestant. They are the Church of England. Spain and England have had a lot of history, not very positive between the two countries in terms of power in Europe, in terms of territory, economics, but also religion is going to play a role. England is a member of the Church of England. It's a Protestant group that broke away from the Roman Catholic Church. A lot of similarities in terms of belief set. However, they are different, and a lot of tension within England between Catholics and Protestants, kind of going back and forth. We got like Bloody Mary, Mary Queen of Scots, all these different issues going on, and it's very violent. So one of the reasons here is economic. The other reason is political. Spain, as you can see on this map here, is already in the New World. They're the first country to really colonize in North America. The British are not liking this because that is their enemy. One, in terms of economics. Two, in terms of religion. Now we're going to get a man, Richard Hockley, right here, who publishes a document in 1584 called the Discourse Concerning Western Planting. I've got a modified version of that on the website. I would highly encourage you to check that out. The whole idea here is this argument that he's going to present to the British monarch at the time, Queen Elizabeth I, which is simply going into the West. The Western discovery is an opportunity for us to grow our faith. We are Anglican. We have a chance to grow the Anglican faith in North America. Spain is already spreading Catholicism there. If we don't get there, it's going to be this whole area that is going to be Catholic and Spanish. There's a reason, as you, Queen Elizabeth, as the head of the Church of England, have a moral duty, really, to go to North America and settle your own colony. Number two is economic opportunities. First and foremost, it's going to make less pressure from Catholic lands. France and Spain, deeply Catholic countries, really pressuring, putting some economic pressure on the British. If you have this whole area over here that's not really been touched by any European power, it's going to be a lot easier to get over there to make sure you have your own influence in the region and you can kind of grow your own economy. Number two is it allows you to counter the presence of Spanish gold. Spain is becoming incredibly rich at this time because they are taking the gold from the New World, particularly Central and South America, and bringing it into Spain, and they're becoming super rich for it. So there's kind of this belief that if the British go over, they might find some of this gold, and it allows them to be more powerful as well, and will make that gold that the Spanish have kind of less impactful in terms of Europe because they're not the only ones who are going to have it. Early European settlements we want to talk about. St. Augustine right here, 1565, present-day Florida, was settled by the Spanish. Again, you can see the name St. Augustine really implying the religious belief and religious fervor that was coming with the Spanish in terms of their colonization, naming it after a really well-known and prominent Catholic saint. We've got Roanoke, the British colony. This is going to be the one that just kind of mysteriously disappears. No one really knows what happens, but it's gone. We've also got Plymouth, which is going to be the Puritans, which will be in unit or lesson 2, up in the British in 1620. And we got New Amsterdam, 1624, with the Dutch in present-day New York City. So some different colonies, early settlements that you would want to know about. Now, there is one problem with colonization, and that is the fact there are already people living in North America. So definition of colonization from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy is a practice of domination which involves the subjugation of one people to another. So you've got one group which is going to be in charge and kind of controlling, taking advantage of the natural resources of the people that are in the area they're going to be colonizing. Now, the argument here is that this brings economic development to a new area. There's a lot of different pros and cons that you could look at in terms of colonization, but there certainly is this problem that you do need to kind of reckon with. It's not like the British were coming over to this empty, vast land that no one was living in. No Europeans really were living in this area, but there were really advanced societies, their own systems of government, their own way of living that had already been established in that area. There's diverse people and governments in the New World that the British are going to have to figure out their way of dealing with. So you can see that on the map right here. Comments, questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you later.